So welcome to LocalGovCamp. Do you want to quickly explain who you are and where you've come from?
Yeah, it's a delight to be back here. So my name is Paul Maltby and I'm the Chief Digital Officer in the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. And we've got a real interest in helping local government make the most of digital transformation opportunities over the next few years.
Fabulous. And so what are the things that your team are doing to help support that?
Well, we're just really growing a team for the first time in a number of years, so that's really exciting in its own right. The thing for us is we don't ship software ourselves for local government, but we do have an interest in trying to work out where things fall between the cracks of organisations doing their best to try and make the most of the opportunities in this space. So top of our list really is to try and do things exactly like this here today, of supporting those people who are already part of the local government digital community. And I mean by that, of course, people doing digital stuff in local government, but also service leads and people working in services in local government. Actually, a number of government departments, really good to see here, government departments and agencies represented, because this is all part of one system in many ways. And also suppliers, and it's really good. I think that's such a critical part. You're seeing the supplier market shift in and around local government, like we see suppliers shift in the rest of the digital economy. And I think all those elements are a really big part of why we're here today.
That's fabulous. We've heard a few mentions today in various presentations, things about the digital declaration, which your team has been involved in putting together. What are the problems that you see that the declaration is helping to fix?
Yeah, we were really pleased to get this digital declaration out and signed by a lot of local authorities and other organisations as well earlier in the summer. The idea of it was saying that there's something happening in local government digital services and IT at the moment. There's a number of people going, you know what, we don't have to take either the legacy models that some of us are still struggling with, indeed in central government departments as well as in local government, and that system, those systems that are closed down and locked down and hard to work with, hard for users in local government to work with, never mind the citizens out there. But neither should we have to go and try and do everything from scratch ourselves. Local government is different on purpose each council is different on purpose. That's a feature, not a bug. But at the same time, what we want to do is make sure that we can reuse and repeat a lot of the same content whilst amending things to people's local services. So the declaration was all about saying, come on, we can do things better. We can put users right at the heart of those services. We can think seriously about modular component technology, making things more interoperable, and we can do things like reuse and repurpose software code design that other people have done, and build this community and make a change in it.
Sounds great. So I suppose the question lots of people are going to be asking, of course, is that this kind of change does take money, and it's really exciting to hear about the fund that's being launched out of MHCLG. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so that's what we were launching today at LocalGovCamp. So that's a £7.5 million fund over the next couple of years, and it's there to support that shift. We know that these things can take money, even though fundamentally we believe there's a large amount of savings to be had from local government and indeed from those of us in other parts of the system that are working closely with local government for making these changes. So the fund that we announced today is really in two parts. There's one part about capability, leadership and training. So we want to put 1,000 people through the GDS Academy from local government, so that may be people in digital and IT teams, maybe people in service teams actually that want to understand about working in agile ways, boosting their digital skills as we go through these transformations can be really important, I found from my own personal experience. But it's also something here about the digital understanding of our senior leadership tiers. And sometimes, you know, as with any organisation, sometimes you have really passionate advocates at the senior leadership and political tier, and sometimes you have people less certain about what that change means. So we want to build a cohort of those senior leaders who have that understanding and help them to go through that programme with their teams. Now, the second part of the fund is about creating some exemplar services where people are working together in local government to create these patterns and these services that can be reused. So that might be looking at what else is out there amongst local government and going, you know what, actually X council did this, we'd love to be able to do that, but you know, what can we reuse that, can we do that with some others? Or it may be a number of local authorities coming together to say, you know what, we want to change how we do this user-led, component-based technology in a different way, and I suppose we're here to try and cover some of that stuff that otherwise would fall between the gaps of turning these things, that extra bit of cash to turn these things into repeatable patterns, to put that user research up online, to take those process maps and other things that otherwise are too hard to do for any one local authority to make those available to everyone. We want to fill some of that gap. So quite a lot of interest and buzz around in the room today, so I'm hoping to get some really good applications in over the next few days.
Brilliant. So where do people go to find out a bit more about the declaration and the fund and to actually make their applications and stuff?
Well, I think the best place to go to is our website. We're doing essentially a campaign website alongside people like LocalGovDigital and other partners. So that's localdigital.gov.uk, and from that you can find your way around the declaration, the fund, and through to our pretty active social media side, lots of blogs and other things that we're hoping to expand. Still at our minimum viable product at the moment, but we're expanding that and we'll see a bigger and better service as we go through.
Great stuff, really exciting to hear about.
Yeah, really pleasure to be here.